Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are on December of 2020. This is going to be week 3. This is card number 1. We are focusing this month of December 2020 on the Peaceful Nativity stamp set. That also includes the Nativity dies. So I just wanted to show you this really quickly. This is how I store my dies. I take a piece of the chipboard from our paper pumpkin kits, trim it down to 5x7. I apply a sheet of magnet that I purchased from Amazon. They come 8x10, so I get 2 magnets out of 1 sheet. I just trim it down to 7 inches and then cut it in half. And then on the back here, this is what looks like a stamp set case art image. It is on our Stampin' Up! Print Lab. So what I do is I print this off, and then of course I just made the name for it. And there's a little box down here. You could write the number of stamp set or a number of dies that are in this set, as well as put some of the die images right on the front of that. I didn't go through all that work, but those are the pieces that you will need. I'm also going to be using the For Unto Us a Child is Born sentiment from that For Unto Us stamp set. If you don't have the For Unto Us stamp set and you're just following along and you only have the parts for the Peaceful Nativity, there is a For Unto Us a Child is Born sentiment here as well. We are also using our color palette this month. As always, our cards in our series and all of the cards will focus on using this color palette. The color palette is the 8 ink spots that come as a set. It's $24 and you get all 8 colors. And then of course, once you purchase that, your gift from me was the Just Jade and Magenta Madness. Do have one of the Just Jade and Magenta Madness kits left. So if you did not receive one and you would like, or you did not order the ink spots and you would like to, by all means, let me give you really quickly this month's host code. So all orders placed with stampinwithfaith.stampinup.net this month should use that host code. And that will definitely get some hostess rewards. So if you would like to join our Thursday night class, you too could be put into the lineup to receive hostess rewards. Right now, my hostess this month is receiving almost $30 or more in free product just for stamping along with me. So we like to share that love. So I'm going to go ahead here, show you our card. We're using a double fold this month. So I have all of my pieces and parts set aside and stamped ahead of time. Let me go ahead and pull up our measurements. So get your cameras ready. I want you to screenshot this information. That way you have the dimensions and everything you need. So this is for the base of the card we're making. This next section is for the left panel of that same card. And then here is the dimensions for the pieces for the right-hand panel. Don't worry, I will try to go over everything again as we go along. And let me go ahead and bring this up. There we go. I kind of moved me down a little bit. So let me clear off that color. We're going to look at our card base. So for that base piece, those dimensions on that slide were a piece. I'm using soft suede. My soft suede measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's the same as what an actual card base would be if it were folded in half, but this time you only have one panel. The next step is your Sahara sand. Sahara sand is 5 1/4 by 4. So we are going to grab our Stampin' Seal, and I'm just going to put some Stampin' Seal on that Sahara sand. Come on. Get it to advance. There it goes. And then we are going to apply that right to our card base. Try to get an even border all the way around. I think my dimensions might have been just a little off because this side's just a little bit longer. So I think I might have miscut my Sahara sand, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything. The next thing we are going to do is I'm going to bring in, just in case, my silicone mat. I have stamped that for Unto Us a Child is Born sentiment right in the center of my Whisper white piece. Excuse me, which is 3 3/4 by 5. And then I'm going to put another line of adhesive here. And then these are going to go right at the top and bottom here. Of our Whisper white piece. Now don't adhere this to your card base just yet. That's why I've kind of, here, I'll move it over there. I set the card base aside because we're going to need our palette because we're going to be doing some coloring. So the next step is, let's go ahead and assemble our left panel. So this is our left panel. Let me see what I did measurement wise. This is the looks like this one is 3.5 by 4 inches, and then this is a 1/2 inch score line here. So then our designer series paper is 3 1/4 square. So let's get some adhesive on our designer series paper. I love this paper. This is the In Good Taste designer series paper from the annual catalog. I love all the wood grains. Those are my favorite. So on this piece, I'm going to fold that little 1/2 inch tab over, and I'm just going to give it a good crease with my bone folder. And then I'm going to use my silicone mat so I don't get any adhesive on my surface. But then I'm just going to run my adhesive all the way down that inside piece. So our designer series paper panel is here. And then here's your outside flap. I'm going to flip that over, and on the inside of that flap is where I'm going to put that adhesive. So then I'm going to bring in that Whisper white piece again. And then I'm going to center that on the left side between the two pieces of the wood grain that is already there. And then one thing you can do is bring that card up to create that 90-degree angle, and then you know you're setting it right in that crease so that that left panel will close, and you kind of can get that in there. Now mine seem to go a little bit wonky, so let me see if I can get a do-over out of it. Sometimes you have to, when you're going to pull that card off, give it a twist instead of pull. Twisting allows it to dislodge from that adhesive a little easier. There we go. Now that's a little better. Now it's straighter. Okay, then let's add our Rejoice. So just put a little bit of adhesive on that, and this little piece is it measures 1 inch by 1.5 inches, and I just stamped the word Rejoice on that from that stamp set as well. And I'm going to put that right here along this folded side on the wood grain and just leave about 1/8 of an inch so some of that wood grain shows through, because I don't want to end up folding my right side over and then covering my rejoice. All right, let's go ahead and grab our pieces for our right side. This piece measures 2.5 by 2.5 inch square. This is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then this guy is 3.5 by 3, because we again want some adhesive on that inside piece here. And then we also want some adhesive on the back of our wood grain. Do not adhere your 2.5 by 2.5 inch yet. So let's get our wood grains going in the same direction as our other side. I am going to go ahead and adhere. If I'm going to fold that at my 90-degree angle, I'm going to line that up, fold that in, and there we go. So now that's how it should look so far. So now on our 2.5 inch square piece, I have gone ahead and I've stamped ahead of time the Holy Family on there. Excuse me. I'm just going to get my palette ready. This is Daffodil Delight. And let's do, down here, let's do Just Jade and Granny Apple Green together. So I just put one right on top of the other. Let's see, we're going to do Coastal Cabana. And I need a brown, so remember our brown is going to be our Just Jade out of this palette. Now we will put down our Just Jade there. Let me actually do it over here. So, and I still did it wrong. Hold on, let me wipe these off. Okay, so we want just a dollop of Real Red and just a dollop of Just Jade, then a whole boatload, if you will, those are my terms, of that yellow. So I always like to go around in a very big circle, coming in as close to those as I can, and then I will mix them with my blender pen here in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to grab my blender pen, and first thing I'm going to do is mix this all together. Now, if this doesn't seem to be exactly what you want, or it's not mixing well, just add a teeny drop of water. So let me see. I have an aqua painter here. This one still has water. Okay, doesn't want to. All right, there we go. We'll just do it that way. That's my drop of water. There we go. Now it'll mix it. There you go. And you can actually add, and you should probably add, a drop of water to all of that. Okay, I'm going to color in Joseph's staff first. This is going to come out really, really light. It's going to squeak on the glass. Sorry for the sounds. All right, so that is for that. I'm going to actually add to that a little bit more red. And this time a little bit of shaded spruce. And don't be intimidated to mix your colors. I'm going to add just another drop of water to those. And I'm going to also add a drop in each of our other spots because we're going to need those as well. And then I'm also going to add a drop over here of excuse me, shaded spruce by itself, because I am going to add a dollop of Coastal Cabana next to that, because I do want to mix those two, because there's a reason we didn't want to pour out the whole jar, but it's all right. We're going to go with it at this point. We'll figure it out. It matters not, my friends. As long as we didn't get it all over our card, we're good. We got a little bit there, and I'm going to just dollop that up. Daub that up. All right, so now let's come in and let's darken up our brown with that red and green. So brown is a mixture of red and yellow, and then you will slowly add in blues until you get the consistency of brown that you want. So this darker brown or different shade of brown, I'm going to use it for the hair, the goatee, and her bangs. Just that little tuft right there. All right, then let's go ahead and let's see. Let's use our yellow since it wanted to mix itself with all that water. And then I'm going to use here on all of the hay. It might not show up very well. So let me get a new dollop, and I'm just going to then, I'll reach into that water we've already got, and then I'll use just a little bit of that. You don't need a lot of water. That's why I switched spots, because the blender pins already have a liquid substance in them. That's meant to grab that color. So there we go. That is perfect for that. So now I'm going to take just a little bit of that brown and a little bit of yellow, and I'm going to color his blanket, and that's going to give me that tan color. Perfect. All right. Let's actually put down a small dollop of Flirty Flamingo as well. So with that Flirty Flamingo, I'm going to grab a lot of that water because I'm only just going to use a corner of the Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm going to use a corner of that yellow. And this is going to make what little bit we need here for our skin tone. That came out really good. Perfect. All right. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into the shaded spruce granny apple green that we make, or that we put down, and we're going to mix them. Give us a bright green. Because I have this running right here, I'm actually going to grab a piece of that Coastal Cabana and shaded spruce and mix in there as well and kind of get a darker green. So remember, don't limit yourself to the palette that you have in just the ink spots themselves. If you have, you can use a glass tile, you can use your Stamparatus plates, whatever you have. You can even use a large clear block. Excuse me. Blend your colors together. Blend, 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 blend. I'm just going to highlight her scarf a little bit with this, and that's it. Okay, so she's kind of got to coordinate. Now we're going to come in and we're going to color Joseph's robe with this color. Again, I'm picking up more color as I need it so that it doesn't look faded out in spots. All right, now I'm going to go into that Coastal Cabana by itself. I'm going to mix that with my little bit of water. And then that is going to go right here on Mary's robe. Perfect. Look at that. How awesome is that? That came out really good. I'm impressed. I'm usually not a fan of my own coloring skills, let me tell you. I am going to grab a little bit of that Coastal Cabana Shaded Spruce by itself. And I'm just going to go back over her headpiece. Give it a little bit of darker tone, but let it kind of match. I don't want it to be the exact same color as what I did for Joseph. So let me lift this up, and I'm going to show you our fancy work here. Gorgeous. All right, I am going to clean up some of that water off of the surface, because that was a lot more than I intended, and I'm so sorry, you guys. But this is it. This is me, mistakes and all. I don't edit these videos. Excuse me. On occasion, I may start over a few times. But that's about the most you'll get. So there we go. Got that all cleaned up. And now we're going to apply. This is our last step here. We are going to apply some of that Stampin' Seal all the way around that piece. Don't attach it to the table. Drop it. And we're going to bring in our card. Now for this part, I'm just going to flip it upside down, and I'm going to open it up. And then I'm going to line up that panel that we just colored. Adhere that down, and there, my friends, is our card. That is all there is to that. Let's go ahead then and put some adhesive on here. Now I'm also going to put some adhesive going down on those Sahara sand strips that are tucked in back there, because that's where a lot of the usage is going to come from. Your recipient's going to want to open it a time or two when they first get it. There we go. So, and then that just goes centered right on our Sahara sand and soft suede piece. Look at that. Gorgeous. And there you have it. There's your left panel and your right panel. Absolutely beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep coming back. There will be every Friday at noon. There's 2 videos posted. So if you've seen this one, there is a whole entire series. So definitely you'll want to go back and look at that. And look out for video number 2 coming today at the same time as this one. So once you finish this card for this week, there will be a second one available. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.